Robert Plank Show, episode 41. Anything is better than nothing. Step by step, passive, residual income. How's it going out there? My name is Robert Plank. This is an internet marketing podcast where we talk about making money, building your website, getting a membership site going, having a list, and selling information products, which all leads to that very important thing of having this thing called passive residual income. The coolest thing about passive income is, well, it's the dream everyone expects, right? Get your royalties in place, get money coming into you every single morning. So you wake up, you have X amount of dollars in the bank, or X amount of dollars came into your PayPal account, your payment system, and then anything else you do that day is just extra. Maybe you put a little bit into maintaining it, or maybe 10% more than what's expected of you to make it grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Jim Rohn, the motivational speaker, says if it's important, you'll find a way, and if not, you'll find an excuse. Another guy named Tony Gaskins Jr. says if you don't build your own dream, then someone else will hire you to help build theirs. So I saw something the other day and I want to share with you, and it was 8 things to give up right now. So just stick with me. There's 8 things to give up, then we'll get this show started and on the road. 8 things to give up. Number 1, self-rejection. Number 2, negative self-talk. Number 3, criticizing others. Number 4, being a people pleaser. Number 5, fear of failure. Number 6, procrastination. Number 7, holding on to grudges. And number 8, expecting perfection. So 8 things to give up. Expecting perfection, holding on to grudges, procrastination, fear of failure, being a people pleaser, criticizing others, negative self-talk, and self-rejection. We are all our own worst enemies, and this has never been more clear to me than it is right now, because I just came back a few weeks ago from a conference where I was able to speak for a few minutes, talking to a few doctors who needed websites, and I heard it. I don't want to be mean or say I heard excuse after excuse, but I heard like the tiniest little reason why people didn't have websites or couldn't hire someone to have their websites. And they'd say, well, I've heard about all this thing about having a website. I know I need one. I know I needed to have this and that. I know I have all these competitors who are just like passing me up income wise because they all have websites and I don't. But I can't do any of this because of duplicate content. Or I can't do any of this because I've heard I need this thing called a web host and I'm still researching that. I can't do anything because you tell me I need to have this thing called an email autoresponder list where people can subscribe to you. If you want to call it a newsletter, fine. And then anytime that you want to talk to someone and say, by the way, here's where you can buy from me, not to say here's a discount or here's a sale, but by the way, I know you joined my list to get this information. Here it is. Here's where to buy from me. And people say things like, well, I'm afraid that I will make people angry. I'm afraid that everyone who signed up to my email list will hop right off. And so we're going to be talking today about changing your thinking. And the other thing that cemented this home with me is my business partner, Lance Thomasher, and I. By the way, Lance has a book out there on Amazon called Income Machine, and you should get it. It's called Income Machine, INCOMEMACHINE, Income Machine. And the whole idea behind this is that you need to have 8 things set up in your business. You need to have a niche, which means that you sell, information on organic gardening. You sell a WordPress plugin. You sell information on how to lose weight. You need to have a website. You need to have a .com address. You need an opt-in page, which means a web page where someone can enter in their name and email address, and you say, here's my free report on weight loss, get it. Now they're on your autoresponder email list. And then this list sends people out a sequence of messages saying, okay, well, here's the report you just signed up for. And the next day, here's the report you had again, just to make sure you got it. Third day, did you check out the report? Here's what it likes about it. Number 4, but now that you've checked out the report, on day 4, now it's been 4 days since you signed up, here's this place to go and buy something from me. Okay? The other thing you need to have is a blog where you have a couple of your free articles or a couple of videos or just some kind of internet presence. So if someone searches your name, and by the way, try that out. Go to Google right now or when the show is over and type in your first and last name. And I'm just curious what comes up for you. I know what comes up for me, my articles, my blog posts, my products, my videos. It's all me. So type in your name, or if you have a common name, type in your name plus the name of your niche. So, like if your name is Joe Smith, there's a lot of Joe Smiths out there. If you type in Joe Smith weight loss, well, then what's going to show up for you personally. And so that's what the blog is for. Then we have a thing called a sales letter where we have something for sale. And I mean, if you have like a local offline business, that might be the offer that is for sale is to come into your dentist office, your chiropractor practice, or if you're more like me and you're selling a digital ebook or an information product or a video course, then that is a sales letter is a page where it says, here is the problem you're having, here is the solution, which is my information product. Now here's the button to go there and buy. That's called a sales letter. Now when they click on the button and buy, you want to send them to what we call a download area or a membership site, which can just be one single page that says, here's the thing you just bought. Go get it, download it right now. Click the play button on the video, or download this zip file, or click on this PDF document, or whatever the heck that is. And then finally, you need traffic, which is everything left over to get people to all those different websites. Have you heard of this thing called article marketing? Where you go and you get someone to just write little 400 word bits of articles about what your niche is. So you can pay someone $5 a piece to get these 400 word articles about weight loss, and you distribute them to article directories or to other blog sites or to message boards, and then those link back to your site. Or you record a quick video for YouTube on how to mix a green smoothie, or on how to do a certain, I don't know, like yoga core exercise, or like proper form when you're running, or how to do squats and lifts and push-ups and chin-ups and pull-ups, or whatever the heck it is that you do. And even if there's tons of videos on YouTube about how to do a push-up, but I guarantee that there's not just one. There's tons, and there's room even for you to be there as well. So I'm going to go to YouTube right now. I'm going to do how to do a push-up. Not even just push-up, but how to do a push-up. The first one has 135,000 views. The second one has 3.5 million views, 179,000 views, and only a couple of these actually link back to their sites. So imagine if you got just some of their runoff. You recorded a quick I'm seeing a lot of like 2 and 3 minute videos on how to do a push-up correctly. You make a video like that, and even if you only get 10 or 20,000 views over time, imagine if 1% or 5% or 10% clicked over to your site, what would that add up to? So this thing called an income machine, you need to have these 8 things. Number 1, a niche. Number 2, a website. Number 3, an opt-in page. Number 4, an autoresponder. Number 5, a blog. Number 6, a sales letter. Number 7, a membership site. And number 8, traffic. Niche, site, opt-in, autoresponder, blog, sales letter, membership site, traffic. And the reason why this has been more and more present in my mind is because in this income machine at the moment we're doing a little bit of a special where we talk to people one-on-one. We talk to some of our customers one-on-one. So hold me to it if you're listening to this 5-10 years later, even though I'm sure the site will be up and online and selling. When you join Income Machine, I can't guarantee that you'll have a one-on-one coaching spot unless you go there right now and it says that you have that. But either way, what we do is we have this course called Income Machine, and at any point someone can meet with us one time exactly, and for 40 minutes on the phone is what we're doing presently. And so after 40 minutes, they can use that time in any way they want. And a few people haven't done anything yet, and they just say, well, okay, well, I'm stuck at the very first step, which is fine. And we say, all right, well, here's how to get unstuck. You're thinking about making a site about this. You're going to sell this physical product. You're going to make information product about how to solve this particular problem. And then what we usually do is we just go through somewhat of a checklist. We say, well, then the big one is what have competitors already done? So we go and look for competing products, we look for videos on YouTube, we look for message boards on that subject, and we look for paid advertisements that are all about that. I mean, if you look at the books that come out and things like that, I mean, there's a new diet book coming out pretty much every day. There's a new video workout membership site or a DVD coming out every day. But then if you say, well, I have this really exciting idea of teaching people how to knit their own cable knit sweaters, I'm not sure if that is going to be the biggest seller because there might not be any competitors in that area. I don't know. So we do this one-on-one thing, and the biggest problem I'm seeing is that people just can't get something finished. Because, I mean, if you think about it, when you hear about this thing called a website, it's really easy to get stuck in this thing called if you give a mouse a cookie or going down the rabbit hole. There's 10 different web hosts to choose from. Okay, I've chosen that. Now there's 20 different niches to choose from. I'll choose one of those. Now there's 20 different email autoresponders to look into. I'll choose one of those. Now I have to choose from 100 different .com domain names. Let me find one of those. And every step along the way, there's a million ways to go wrong. And the reason why we have this thing called an income machine is to remove the choices so that we just say, go through these different steps. And the biggest thing I'm seeing and the biggest advice I think I need to give right now is that if you don't have those 8 things I listed in the income machine, niche site, opt-in autoresponder, blog, sales letter, membership site, and traffic, you need to have those things set up. And I don't mean that you need to have the perfect membership site set up and the perfect sales letter, but you need to have literally anything set up, because I keep seeing people get 98% of the way there and then they stop. They say, okay, I want to set up, I want to sell something about real estate, because maybe they're an ex-realtor and they know all these different secrets and things like that. So they say, okay, well, I found a clever twist on real estate or something like that, or I'm going to use this thing called the income machine to get more business to my own real estate practice or something like that. And they find a clever .com domain name that has their keyword in it. They register a website. They get a free gift and a place for someone to sign up to their list. They may even make a couple of emails in the sequence. Then they go in to make the blog, and maybe they'll go and grab a YouTube video or two, or grab an article that has permissions to be syndicated. And then they go and make the sales letter, and at that point, maybe they could go and grab a resale rights product or just sell a quick report or something like that. And then at some point along the way, you just get stuck and say, you know what, forget it. I've done enough. I've put in X number of hours. I've spent X number of dollars. I don't think anyone's going to buy my real estate course. I'm going to get into weight loss instead. And then what do? They say, okay, well, I'm going to go back to the beginning because my problem was just that I chose the niche of real estate. So they go back to weight loss and they say, all right, I'm going to get a domain name in weight loss. I'm going to make a website in weight loss. I'm going to make an opt-in page in weight loss. I'm going to set up a couple of autoresponder messages, so after they sign up for this weight loss report, they'll get a couple of reminders that, okay, well, here's the free thing you got. Now you can buy this other course on weight loss. Then I'm going to grab a couple of articles on weight loss and put them on my blog. Now I'm going to buy resale rights to a weight loss product. Maybe I'll fix it up later, but as is, cool sales letters on there. Now it's time for a membership site or to ask for money, and what happens again? Then they say, all right, well, the problem was, who wants to hear about weight loss? I'm going to get into something really crazy and teach people about scuba diving. So I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to choose a .com name on scuba diving. And I mean, do you get the picture? Is that by the end of all, well, there is no end, but after a while, then this person has 10 unfinished sites about all these different subjects. They have all these .com names. They have all these websites, so they've put some effort into it. So why delete them? But then at the same time, then they're stuck and they're really unhappy, and it even like they just can't even get a handle on it, right? And I'm even getting a little flustered and stuttering a bit myself, just even at the thought of all this. So I'm sure you can relate. And so this all ties into I just, you know how you come across like random articles on things like Facebook and stuff like that. I came across this article that was all about when people believe in conspiracy theories and stuff like that. What usually, or even like political beliefs or whatever, it goes the opposite way that you imagine, right? Because we imagine that, oh, well, I looked at all the facts and then I looked at both sides of this issue when I came to my decisions, but really it's the opposite of that. The opposite is that you start from a point of what you want to believe, right? So, I mean, let's just say that you believe that the moon landing was faked. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to find all the information that supports your belief that the moon landing was fake and ignore anything else. And even if someone else tries to explain it and say, well, I'm going to prove this and prove that, you'll say, aha, but I looked even further and I found even more evidence that the moon landing was faked, even more than what you just said. And we see this all the time with people. I don't know, people say like, I don't know, Pearl Harbor attack was was made up, or that reptiles rule the world secretly from space and things like that. But there are people out there that believe these things because they started from the point of what it is they want to believe. And I mean, not to get too far down on this path, but a lot of it comes from, well, either I could believe that there's a conspiracy that's all out to get me, right? And even just tying back to internet marketing, the reason why I'm not making any money online is because everyone wants to keep me pushed down. Everyone wants to conspire against me to keep me from making money online. And it can't possibly be that no one else even just knows what I'm doing. And it can't possibly be that things like the internet are so disorganized that there's really no safety net. And it's easier to think that the reason why things aren't working out is because everyone is specifically targeting me. That, for some weird reason, is more comforting than the idea that, well, maybe it's just random chance. And so the reason why I bring all this up is, well, this morning I was taking a walk outside, right? Like I've been doing really well about waking up early in the morning, like usually before the sun even comes up. Walking around and around my neighborhood, these things called roundabouts, right? You might call them traffic circles, where a lot of people just don't know how to drive around these things. Instead of an intersection, you kind of like go around this loopy loop thing. And I was walking across the street, and this car just came barreling through, and I literally had to jump out of the way of this car. And I mean, the sun had come up by that point. It was still like early morning, but they could easily see. I had to jump out of the way, and the car just kept on going. Like, they literally did not see me as they were coming up. They didn't see me barely jump out of the way of their car. They didn't see me as they drove past. Just literally, they didn't see me. And it's really easy to get stuck in that victimhood where your brain naturally tends to go, because you say, man, what a jerk. Like, not only does he not care, like, he didn't even see me. And then the next time you're crossing the street, you might start thinking, well, you know what, I'm going to spend a little more time crossing the street. I'm going to walk real slow. I'm going to make the next car almost hit me, and things like that. And that's just a really downward spiral way of thinking, a really downward spiral way to go, where you start to think that, well, maybe someone else has to lose in order for you to win. And maybe you have to like achieve some kind of karmic balance, like someone else wronged you, so now you have to find a way to go and wrong someone else. And I mean, as long as we're aware that these things happen, we can really easily prevent them from happening. But I mean, all this stuff happens with the people that Lance and I have been dealing with online, and like the silliest, smallest, tiniest things keep people from not even making money yet, but just finishing a website. So the point of today is that anything is better than nothing. And what you have right now, I mean, it's probably good enough to start making some sales. It's good enough to make your first $100 or your first $1,000 online. But it's really tempting, really easy to fall into all these traps. Like, if you spend so much time on making your opt-in page just right, you might be thinking that if you spend 100 hours on your opt-in page instead of 1 hour, or instead of 10 minutes, now it's going to be 100 or 1,000 times better. And in reality, it's not going to be. In reality, it's more important to have something finished so that you can then improve from there, to have this whole income machine in place so that you can just tell someone, okay, well, go to this site, go to this.com, and here's my course to buy. And if you send traffic and you have links from other sites where people might be ready to buy, then you get them on your email list. But I mean, that way at least you have something in place. And I know that what you have imagined in your head is always going to be perfect, but it's also not going to make you money. So I'd rather have something that's imperfect and making me money, as opposed to something that is perfect and doesn't exist and is not making me money. So that's what I mean. That's been my thoughts today about, you have to have something, anything better than nothing. And we see a lot of people where they're either skewed one way or the other, and they're too tactical or too strategic. And if you heard of this term, I mean, I've been learning a lot about like chess lately, right? And with chess, basically, you can either like just think one move ahead, right? Like, I'm gonna move this piece on the board to this other location on the board. But then you can start thinking about the different configurations. You can say, well, if you move this piece and that piece and that piece, and set this other piece up to attack this one, and then block this other piece, and then make it so if they kill you here, you can counterattack them right there. You start thinking in more of a bigger picture. And when it comes to you making your money online, well, being too tactical means people who are only thinking their next $100 ahead. Like, okay, I'm gonna run some ads to this affiliate offer on Monday, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to then drive my car around on a site on an app called Uber on Tuesday, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip a site on Wednesday, and then you just end up running around like a chicken with your head cut off with no real plan. You make a little bit of money, but then you end up getting burned out. On the other side of the extreme is when people say, I'm going to change the entire world. I'm going to make 1,000 websites my first month. I'm going to make 100 different information products. I'm going to get 10,000 joint venture partners. I'm going to buy and sell all this stuff. And then, well, they ended up filling a notebook full of crazy harebrained ideas, but didn't make one single dollar. So I talked a few minutes ago about how you make your beliefs first, and then the information you go out there and get comes secondary to that. And so, one of the biggest helpful things early on, and I didn't even realize it, and I think of most people who actually make it as far as internet marketing is concerned, they don't even realize it, is they first get the belief in their head that making money online is possible and that there's still room for everyone out there, but that it's not that you I don't like to use the term like you have to work or earn it, because that means that if you put in X number of hours, you're guaranteed X number of dollars, which you aren't. But when it comes to this whole thing of internet marketing and making money online, it all is possible. People are doing it every day. It is easy to get to $1,000 or $10,000 a month, but no one is conspiring against you, but no one's also going to go out of their way to help you, right? So if you have some new way of, or even an old way, but a new twist on it of playing the guitar or losing weight, well, people are searching for that kind of thing all day long. So they're going to buy all these different courses, and yours could either be one of them or yours could be not one of them because it doesn't exist. And so, I mean, anything is better than nothing. And even if you only made $10 or $100 online, I'm actually very proud of you, because that means that you're ahead of 99% of people out there that have made $0, and that you can then improve from there. But when it comes to speaking at this conference I was speaking at, when it comes to doing some of these one-on-one coaching calls and stuff like that, I mean, the biggest problem I'm seeing right now, at least in the present day, isn't necessarily anything other than just self-sabotage, getting to 98%, and then starting all over again. How about instead of starting all over again, you just finish what you had and you believe in yourself and actually get some traffic going to that site. And I mean, even for me personally, as soon as I stopped juggling all these projects, as soon as I stopped having all these different plates in the air and trying to, manage everything, I just focused on one thing, and I honestly believed that I could do it, and I honestly believe that I knew that I was helping people, and in my case, it was teaching people how to program different website scripts and how to improve things on their website and how to keep people on their web page and how to increase their conversion rate. That's something that's actually valuable. That's something people are actually searching for and willing to pay money for. And I'm sure they could probably piece together a few things here to there, on things like YouTube or reading different articles or even buying a book in the bookstore or going to even like a community college class. But I was giving them the shortcut. And so I want to give you the shortcut today, and it's called Income Machine. And the best thing about Income Machine, at the core of all of it, is this plugin we have called Paper Template. Okay, and if you've ever seen a web page, it's just a plain white web page. These are websites like Amazon, like eBay, like Google, Yahoo. The most popular sites on the internet are just a plain white piece of paper web page. And this plugin called Paper Template runs on something called WordPress, which you install on your web host called HostGator, and then you point a .com domain name using a site called Namecheap, so that when someone goes to your .com address, your HostGator web page loads, which loads a WordPress site, which runs Paper Template. And what's cool about Income Machine is we give you what's called a clone, so it's already created for you. So we give you the steps, we show you in the video, we give you all the tools and all that stuff, and you say, okay, I'm going to make my niche about weight loss. And then we say, okay, well, here are some possible .com names to register about weight loss. And then once you register that, you get your web hosting. Yet WordPress and Paper Template will run what's called your opt-in page. Paper Template will allow you to collect a name and email address, and it goes to what's called your email autoresponder, and then that's a good start. And then when you create this thing called a sales letter, you have a product for sale, you use Paper Template for that so that you can explain to someone, and on a web page it looks pretty decent. And you explain to someone, here is the course or the information or the book that I'm offering. And then in Income Machine, we include another plugin called Member Genius so that when someone pays you money, and we recommend you use a free service called PayPal. PayPal will take a percentage of your sales, but you don't have to, keep a big storage in the bank. You don't have to get approved by a credit card company. Use PayPal and Paper Template to take a sale. And then once the sale's taken, you use our plugin called Member Genius to manage those sales. So basically, what's cool about all this is it runs on automatic pilot. You sell your paid report or your course, your work online workshop, whatever you want to call it, on losing 10 pounds, losing 20 pounds. Someone buys it, and then they get instant access. Even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to do anything to earn that 27 or 97 or $197 that someone paid in order to get access to that information. I mean, think about how many different books and courses and things like that you've bought over the years on all kinds of weird subjects. So people are fine paying money for this kind of thing. And if anything, it's easier now to sell things online than it was a decade ago because everyone has a credit card. Most people are used to buying things online, and so it's just your job to do these three things. Let me just write this down real quick. List, traffic, and offers. That's what it all comes down to. List, traffic, and offers. And I know I threw a lot of things at you today, but with all the noise and all the possibilities on the internet, it all comes down to these three things: list, traffic, and offers. And to make sense of it, it helps me to just put these in these three different categories. Your lists are things like we talked about an opt-in page, right? We talked about having a free gift, and we talked about getting someone on your, let's just call it your newsletter, so you can send broadcast emails or even send your automatic sequence to people, and they can always hop off anytime. But the point is that they're one of your subscribers. And this is probably one of the slowest things to build on the internet. But once you have a list, even if you have only 1,000 or 10,000 subscribers, that's your core group. And whenever you want to make some money, you just tell that list what it is that you're selling that day, whether it is a book, whether it's coming to my office on this day, whether it's I found this other product I'm promoting as an affiliate, so this is someone else's stuff, they will give me a commission. So that is called your list: opt-in page, free gift, email broadcast, and an automatic sequence. Okay. Then the other thing we're talking about is traffic, and that's just basically links back to your site. It's like the simplest way of explaining that. And that might be that you publish videos on YouTube. That's probably the most fun, probably the most hot right now and kind of fun topic to talk about. Is just make a quick 3-minute video showing how to do a push-up, showing how to run a quick mile, and then cool, that is something that people will go and find because they were searching Google and YouTube for that, and then they go and click back to your site. It's the whole reason I'm making this podcast. Well, not the whole reason, but the bigger reason today is traffic, because I'm putting this on my blog, because this is going on iTunes, because this is being listed in the Google search result, and maybe this is your very first time coming across. Maybe you're looking into making money online or passive income. You found this podcast, and now maybe you go to my blog, maybe you'll sign up to my opt-in page, maybe you'll buy our Income Machine course. We want to get you to our site so then you can go and buy something. That's where offers comes in. So an offer could either be like we're talking about, like an information product, could be like a coaching, or could be a done for you, could be you're selling a book, could be you're selling a course, but the offers are things to buy. Anything else that's crazy you hear about, like if you hear what's really hot right now is this thing called retargeting, where basically you put a little bit of code on your web page. So if someone comes to your site about weight loss and they don't buy, and then they go off and they go to maybe CNN, or they go to TV Guide, or they go to even maybe Facebook or something, and then your ad just follows them around the internet. Okay, well, what is that? That's traffic. That's getting more people back on your site. But someone will say, well, this retargeting thing changes everything. Well, not really. It's just one other traffic method to plug into your income machine once it is set up. But until you have your niche, your site, your opt-in page, your email autoresponder system, your content blog, which can just be grab a couple YouTube videos, put them on a brand new WordPress site, your sales letter, membership site, and traffic. And I know that sounds like a lot. And well, it's a lot for you to have set up once it's done and lots of things working for you. But I don't want it to be a lot of work for you to do. I don't like that word work. I want to give you the clone, I want to give you the template, and that is inside of incomemachine.com. So go right now to incomemachine.com. That's incomemachine.com to set up your niche, site, opt-in, autoresponder, blog, sales letter, membership site, and traffic, and do it all in literally just a few hours because we make it point and click simple for you. So do it right now. I'm Robert Plank, and this has been the Robert Plank Show. We're talking about anything is better than nothing, step-by-step passive residual income. So get a handle on your self-doubt, self-sabotage, self-actualization, and set up these 8 things in the income machine: niche, site, opt-in, autoresponder, blog, sales letter, membership site, and traffic, so that you can get a handle on your list, your traffic, and your offers. I'm Robert Plank. Set up your income machine. Have a great day, and thank you.